Hi guys, welcome to another audio video, and I'll be reading Psalms 45 of the King James Version Bible. And it reads, "My heart is inditing a good matter. I speak of the things which I have made touching the king. My tongue is the pen of a ready writer. Thou art fairer than the children of men, grace is poured into thy lips. Therefore God hath blessed thee forever. Gird thy sword upon thy thigh, O most mighty, with thy glory and thy majesty. And in thy majesty ride purposefully." Sorry, why am I saying purposefully? Sorry, guys. "Prosperously, because of truth and meekness and righteousness. And thy right hand shall teach thee terrible things. Thine arrows are sharp in the heart of the king's enemies, whereby the people fall under thee. Thy throne, O God, is for ever and ever. The scepter of thy kingdom is a right scepter. Thou lovest righteousness and hatest wickedness. Therefore God, thy God, hath anointed thee with the oil of gladness above thy fellows. All thy garments smell of myrrh and aloes and cassia, out of the ivory palaces, whereby they have made thee glad. Kings' daughters were among thy honorable women. Upon thy right hand did stand the queen in gold of Ophir. Hearken, O daughter, and consider, and incline thine ear. Forget also thine own people and thy father's house. So shall the king greatly desire thy beauty, for he is thy Lord, and worship thou him. And the daughter of Tyre shall be there with a gift. Even the rich among the people shall entreat thy favor. The king's daughter is all glorious within, her clothing is of wrought gold. She shall be brought unto the king in raiment of needlework. The virgins, her companions that follow her, shall be brought unto thee. With gladness and rejoicing shall they be brought. They shall enter into the king's palace. Instead of thy fathers shall be thy children, whom thou mayest make princes in all the earth. I will make thy name to be remembered in all generations. Therefore shall the people praise thee forever and ever." Okay, guys. All right. So in this chapter, the writer speaks about gifts, about God being actually glad with all that is happening, and so he decides that he'll bless his servant. So he blessed his servant by granting him favor, and he was favored by the people, and in so doing he had his choice of wife, who to actually get as wife, and he got a fair maiden. A fair maiden came to him as wife, and so that is one of the blessings that God has given his servant. And here we see where the messenger is glad to deliver the news, because he speaks of being glad and his tongue being the pen, because he's writing it. And so here we see where God does reward his people, and it might not come today, but it will definitely come at the right time. God's time is the right time, and so we just need to trust him that he'll actually come through for us when he so desires. And it speaks to the standard that is the raised standard of his chosen wife and those who will actually come to him. It speaks of their garments, or they're actually clothed, how their appearance is, that their appearance is majestic. It also speaks of their purity, that they're pure, so they have not been sullied. No one has touched them, so they'll be getting of the finest. Okay, that his servant will be getting of the finest. And his wife would be of a king. Okay, and so that's what's being spoken of here in this chapter. So, guys, I'm gonna leave this right there. I mean, not really much being said here. It's just speaking of one of the blessings. Not that getting a blessing is not actually something great. It is great because here we see where God's people are oppressed at times. We see where they're basically um, put under subjection. They're basically defiled. And so it's good to see the blessings coming and the rewards coming from serving God, where you can actually see that. But I mean, from Genesis straight up to Psalms, we've seen God's goodness showing through, his goodness and his favor being shown towards his people time and time again. And we've also seen the consequences that they've had to bear because they turned away from God. But we've also seen the rewards. And so this is another reward you get of the finest that there is: a wife with much beauty, a husband with much beauty, a wife that is pure, a husband that is pure, a husband that is would be basically of one of the best standards, and a wife that will actually be of one of the best standards there is out there, whether it's socioeconomic, whether it's their morality, whatever it is, whether it's their godliness, or whatever that measure is against, whatever that standard is, the measure of standard is, then they'll certainly be the best of that class of standards. Okay, so that's basically it. The rewards are great. Alright, guys, so I'm gonna leave that right there. Okay, so guys, please remember to continue to walk in your salvation, and if you've not yet gained it, then seek it. There's no better time to begin than the present. Have yourselves a blessed day. Bye.